Midday News. The headlines. Bhupendra Patel to be the next Chief Minister of Gujarat to take oath on Monday. President Droupadi Murmu addresses 74th Human Rights Day function, says developing sensitivity and sympathy are keys to promoting human rights. India abstains from voting in UNSC on a resolution that exempts humanitarian aid efforts from sanctions, says banned terrorist groups re-incarnating themselves as humanitarian organizations to evade sanctions. In FIFA World Cup, Morocco to lock horns with Portugal at Al-Thumama Stadium tonight, and in cricket, match underway between India and Bangladesh at Chittagong. And now the news in detail. In Gujarat, Bhupendra Patel will be the new Chief Minister of the state. He has been elected as leader of the party legislature among the presence of party observers and senior leaders Rajnath Singh, Arjun Munda and B.S. Yediyurappa. In the meeting of the party MLAs held today at party office in Gandhinagar, his name was proposed by party MLA and senior leader Kanu Desai. Other party MLAs Manisha Bain Vakil, Raman Patkar Shankar Chaudhary and Purnesh Modi supported the proposal. It will be Bhupendra Patel's second consecutive term as the Chief Minister. It was a mere formality as he was already projected for the Chief Minister during the election campaign by the party. A report from our correspondent.
The 60-year-old civil engineer Bhupendra Patel will be the Chief Minister of Gujarat for the second term. Last year, he was given the responsibility of the state by the party leadership. He became an MLA for the first time in the year 2017 when he defeated his nearest rival by over 1 lakh votes. This time, his winning margin reached to near 2 lakh at the same Ghatloria constituency. Before contesting the assembly election, Bhupendra Patel was active in local politics and held various administrative posts of civic bodies. Mr. Patel also served as the chairman of the Ahmedabad Urban Development Authority. With Aparna Khunt, this is Manas Pratim Sharma, AR News, Ahmedabad.
In Himachal Pradesh, the 40 newly elected Congress MLAs have passed a resolution authorizing the Congress High Command to choose the next Chief Minister for the state. AICC in charge for state, Rajiv Shukla, said that the legislature party meeting was called in Shimla yesterday to discuss the appointment of the next Chief Minister. President Droupadi Murmu has stressed the need for expanding the notion of justice among all, saying developing sensitivity and sympathy are the keys to promoting human rights. She was addressing the 74th Human Rights Day celebrations in New Delhi today.
It is an important occasion for the whole of humankind, as it was on this day in 1948 that the United Nations General Assembly adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, also known as UDHR. The adoption of the UDHR was a landmark event in world history. Today, there is a high degree of awareness about the concept of human rights. The principle of equality underpinning it has been widely accepted. But nearly 75 years ago, the world was a bit different. The large number of human beings were treated as less than equal.
Talking about the initiatives the National Human Rights Commission has taken in the last year, the President said that intentions of the Commission are always noble, yet they need to be followed up vigorously to give positive results. On challenges of climate changes being faced by the entire world, the President said that the challenges are enormous and redefining the concept of human rights. Therefore, the world must consider the environmental dimensions of justice now. She said people must relearn to treat nature with dignity. This is not only a moral duty, but necessary for survival of human too. The Human Rights Day is celebrated on the 10th of December every year to commemorate the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which was adopted and proclaimed by the General Assembly of the United Nations in 1948 as the shared standard yardstick to protect human rights across the globe. The theme of this year's celebration is Dignity, Freedom and Justice for All. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Maharashtra and Goa tomorrow. He will reach Nagpur railway station at 10 in the morning, where he will flag off Vande Bharat Express. The Prime Minister will take a metro ride from Freedom Park Metro Station to Khapri Metro Station, where he will dedicate Nagpur Metro Phase 1 to the nation and lay the foundation stone of Nagpur Metro Phase 2. Later, the Prime Minister will address the valedictory function of the 9th World Ayurveda Congress in Goa. He will also inaugurate 3 National Ayush Institutes during the program. Mr. Modi will also inaugurate Mopa International Airport in Goa. Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship will hold the Pradhan Mantri National Apprenticeship Mela on Monday across 197 locations in 25 states and union territories. The ministry in a statement said that several local businesses have been invited to be a part of the Mela to provide local youth opportunity to shape their careers through apprenticeship training. Union Minister for Women and Child Development Smriti Irani has said that the government has set up over 1,000 fast-track courts in the country with the help of Nirbhaya Fund. Addressing a conference of stakeholders on protection of children from sexual offences, POCSO Act in New Delhi, she said that out of the total fast-track courts, over 300 are dedicated to the cause of children and POCSO Act.
With the support of the Nirbhaya Fund, the Government of India has actualized over 1,000 fast-track courts in the country, of which over 300 courts are particularly dedicated to the cause of children and the POCSO Act. We can ensure we partner with the justice system in our country to expedite solutions for our children.
Speaking on the occasion, Chief Justice of India, Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, described the enactment of POCSO Act in 2012 a watershed moment in the history of child rights in India. He, however, said that the POCSO Act is the first step in the long journey, as the victims' families are immensely hesitant to file a complaint with the police. Passing out parade was held at the Indian Military Academy, IMA, in Dehradun today. A total of 344 cadets, including 30 foreign cadets, were commissioned as officers. Since its establishment in 1932, a total of 64,145 Indian GCs and 2,813 foreign GCs from 35 friendly nations have been trained and commissioned as army officers from the portals of IMA. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. Welcome back. India has abstained from voting in United Nations Security Council UNSC on a resolution that exempts humanitarian aid efforts from sanctions. In the explanation of vote, India's permanent representative to the UN, Ruchira Kambod, said that India's concerns were triggered by proven instances of terrorist groups in its neighborhood, including those listed by the Council, reincarnating themselves as humanitarian organizations and civil society groups precisely to evade the sanctions. She said these terrorist organizations use the umbrella of the humanitarian assistance space to raise funds and recruit fighters. Making a veiled reference to Pakistan, Ms. Kamboj added that India will call for caution and due diligence be used when providing humanitarian aid to groups that are prohibited under UN Security Council Resolution 1267, who continue to thrive with full state hospitality in territories universally acknowledged as terrorist havens by the international community. The University Grants Commission will announce the 4-year undergraduate program FYUP by Monday. It will be adopted in higher education institutions from 2023-24 academic session. The FYUP will split the 4-year undergraduate degree into parts and provide different entry and exit options to students. UGC Chairman Professor M. Jagdish Kumar said the National Education Policy 2020 recommends that the higher education system should enable students to study one or more specialized areas of interest and also develop capabilities in disciplines. The country's largest business jet terminal will be commissioned at the Cochin International Airport this evening. The terminal, built at a cost of 40 crore rupees, covers an area of 40,000 square feet. It will serve as a platform to integrate international and domestic jet services, tourism and business meetings. With its opening, Cochin International Airport will become one of the 4 airports in the country to operate private jet terminals. In Hong Kong, a pro-democracy media tycoon has been sentenced today to 5 years and 9 months in prison over 2 fraud charges linked to lease violations. He was arrested during a crackdown on the city's pro-democracy movement following widespread protests in 2019 and under the national security law imposed by Beijing. Mr. Jimmy Lai was also fined 2 million Hong Kong dollars. His media company, Next Digital, published the now-defunct pro-democracy newspaper Apple Daily. The publication was forced to close following the arrests of its top executives, editors and journalists last year. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has said that an assessment would be done in the coastal areas and other places where there has been some damages. He visited the coastal areas in and around Chennai and interacted with the fishermen. Speaking to media in Chennai, he said that damages were less as the government had taken preemptive action. Though Cyclone Mandus has made the landfall, intermittent showers are bound to continue for another 24 hours, according to the Met Department. Power services are being restored in all the places. Meanwhile, our Puducherry correspondent reports that the northwest districts, including Kadalur, Nagapattinam and Puducherry, witnessed strong winds.
Cyclonic storm Mandus was moving towards northwest direction, and the northwest districts Kadalur, Nagapattinam and Puducherry UT witnessed strong winds of 55 to 65 km per hour. This will further decrease by evening to 30 to 40 km per hour. Meanwhile, Puducherry received 29 mm of rainfall till 5:30 am today. Schools and colleges are remain closed. Flight services yet to be resumed from Puducherry. The Puducherry Disaster Management Center said that no major incident was reported so far and the power supply down in some places will be restored soon. Vehicular movement along the East Coast Road resumed at 6 am. The stretch had been closed since 10 pm last night due to cyclone. Chandramohan, Air News, Puducherry.
On to sports. In the FIFA World Cup 2022, Argentina entered the semi-final, defeating Netherlands 4-3 in a penalty shootout in the second quarter-final match at Lusail Iconic Stadium in Qatar. Tonight, Morocco will lock horns with Portugal at Al-Thumama Stadium at 8:30 p.m. Indian time. We have this report.
It is a match many England fans have had in their mind as a possibility since the World Cup fixtures were announced. France in the quarter-finals. No team since the Brazil of Pele, Garrincha and Mario Zagallo, dazzling us with their mesmerizing memory in 1958 and 1962, who has won back-to-back World Cup. After 60 years now, can France achieve the same feat by retaining trophy? It is the toughest test so far for Gareth Southgate and his 3 Lions. How will they line up and deal with the current holders and one of the most impressive teams in the tournament so far? It will feature leading France forward and Golden Boot contender Kylian Mbappe and Jude Bellingham, the England midfielder. Will either of them make the difference? England have scored 12 goals so far and France 9. So will tonight's game be a thriller? Will it go to penalties? With Pratyush Ghosh, this is Anupam Mish, AI News Sports Desk.
India were 295 for 1 in 34.5 overs against Bangladesh in the third ODI being played at Zahoor Ahmad Chaudhry Stadium, Chittagong, when reports last came in. Earlier, Bangladesh won the toss and elected to bowl. India has already lost the 3-match series. Ishan Kishan hit a double century. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Bhupendra Patel to be the next Chief Minister of Gujarat to take oath on Monday. President Droupadi Murmu addresses 74th Human Rights Day function. India abstains from voting in UNSC on a resolution that exempts humanitarian aid efforts from sanctions, says banned terrorist groups reincarnating themselves as humanitarian organizations to evade sanctions. In FIFA World Cup, Morocco to lock horns with Portugal at Al-Thumama Stadium tonight. And with that, we end the midday news.